If you're watching this video right now, you've probably been struggling as a day trader.
Well, I'm going to teach you how to be consistently profitable in the markets. My name is Marky, and I've been trading for a little over 5 years now, and I believe that I am consistently profitable because I've been able to pull out hundreds of thousands of dollars from the market in the last 2 years alone. And the thing that separates me from a lot of traders is the fact that they aren't able to separate the information that isn't going to get them anywhere. I myself started from a place where I don't believe I had the right information. I was misguided by my mentor, and while he was doing everything that he could to properly teach me because he was a close friend of mine, the information that he was conveying to me simply wasn't cutting it. Because while I was able to take trades and maybe even make a profit, I did not understand the way that the market works. And that was the biggest factor that I was missing in my trading. It was the fact that when I looked back on my trades, I still didn't understand why. I didn't understand why it moved like that. And maybe I could look back and see, oh, this indicator moved like this. Or when I was trading support resistance, I'm like, okay, I guess it moved from a little bit lower level. But I didn't understand why. And I feel like that's where a lot of you guys are at. It's simply a lack of the proper information. And a lot of things that people struggle with is the fact that they are trying to hold on to this information that they learned because they spent so long learning it. And my advice to you is not to paint over a painted canvas, because once you mix that paint, it's just going to turn into an ugly picture. I recommend you start from scratch. Toss everything you know out the window and start this course with a blank mind, with an open mind. Starting from zero, starting from a white canvas where you're going to be painting only what I teach you. And the reason why that is I believe that the things that I will teach you in this course are going to be enough to succeed as a day trader. I've simplified the stuff that I learned from ICT into models that work consistently. And the thing that you'll realize is I know all the concepts that he taught because I've watched almost all of his videos. I've listened to all of his psychology videos. And I believe that that was super valuable. And as a trader, I recommend you do the same thing. Not only learning from me, but going and learning from ICT himself. Because that man has so much more experience than any of us could ever think. Days on end, you're coming into the market and you're learning from what you see, right? And this man has way more experience than any of us. His psychology videos have definitely structured the way that my mind thinks and the way that I react in certain situations. Whenever I started trading and started listening to his podcast, it was not the podcast, the Twitter talks. It was all this information that I had been kind of ignoring. It started making sense. All these trades and losses that I was trying to ignore and take new trades and overlap, all that stuff were lessons that I could have been learning from. And what I recommend that you guys do is that you start from the beginning again. Because as an ICT trader, the ICT concepts in themselves will make you profitable. And everything else will only get in the way. It'll only confuse you more. I used to trade support resistance. I used to trade indicators. But I did not understand the way that the market worked. I was able to take trades. I was even able to make some profit. But I did not understand the way the market works. If you want to understand the way the market works, you have to start studying ICT. You have to study fair value gaps. You have to study liquidity. Because I genuinely believe that's the way that the algorithm works. That's the way that the market moves. It's tailored to these specific concepts. And while you can make money trading anything, you can flip a coin. With good risk management, you'll make money. But you won't understand the market. That's the thing. That's the missing piece that a lot of you guys need. And if you want to succeed in this field, start from the beginning. It doesn't matter if it takes you another 2-3 years to learn because you tossed everything else out the window. It doesn't matter because you want to do this for financial freedom. Once it clicks, I've had a 25K last month as a 19-year-old. That's insane to think about. 25K. And just yesterday I made another $500 in a single day from my phone. I don't work a job and all I do is I film videos for fun. Right? And I believe that videos are going to make me more money down the line. And I have the ability with my time to go and make videos because I have created a source of income that I can basically do whatever else I want with my free time. And I'm young, so I'm obviously going to be pursuing more. I'm going to be trying to do things that I feel fulfillment from. I'm going to be working out and doing things that will genuinely make me a better person. And I've attained that. I've attained the time to be able to do these things because I have spent the necessary amount of time to learn how to day trade. I just dropped my phone pretty bad. But I have learned how to make an income from my phone. And I'm able to go anywhere and do whatever I want because of that. And if you guys want to do that, then forget about the information that you know that hasn't gotten you anywhere. Think about it right now. If you're not making a steady profit with the stuff that you've been trading for the last 2-3 years, then maybe it's simply not cutting it. And you need to start from an open mind again to really evaluate whether you are going to succeed with what you know. I believe that a lot of people were misguided and they were taught stuff that isn't going to make them profitable. If you're trading indicators, maybe you can make some money, but you won't understand the market. And I genuinely believe indicators are a delayed version of whatever price action is telling you. Because once you start reading fair value gaps, you're going to be able to predict where the market's going. You're going to be able to adapt, and if you learn how to trade IFEGs, it's over for you. It's over. You are a profitable day trader. And one of the most key components of becoming a profitable day trader is in here. It's everything that's in your mind. And as a day trader, you have to do everything that you can to become the best version of yourself, to become somebody that's disciplined, to become somebody that makes habits that lead them to their goals, not cutting short in other areas. You can't expect to succeed in the markets when you're over here sitting on the couch watching TV for hours. You can't do those things if you want to succeed in this field, because this field requires you to be in pristine condition. You don't want to be sluggish when you're trading. You want to be in the clear stage of your mind, because the best traders are the ones that are emotionless when they're in the charts. But if you're getting angry because you have some temper tantrums, you're not going to succeed in this field. If you sit around and you're sluggish and you're tired and you come into the market with that tiredness, you're not going to get yourself anywhere. You're going to put yourself in a worse situation. And I know that so clearly, because whenever I got sick and I tried to trade, I was trading out of just to feel something. I was just so sick and in my bed, and I just wanted to do something. And during that time, I lost the most money that I've ever lost. Because I was trading with such a foggy mind. I wasn't thinking clearly. I was executing simply to execute. I was just taking trades just to take trades, just to feel something, just to potentially make some money. It was gambling. That's what I was doing. And that's what a lot of you guys do, because your entire lives feel like when I was sick. You feel sluggish. You walk around, you eat trash food, and you just feel like a potato. That will genuinely affect your success in the markets. You have to do the best to become the best version of yourself. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what separates the 95% of unprofitable traders from the 5% that actually succeed. And I believe that's a information gap. It's what you know and what you have yet to learn. The things that I learned that I believe changed the way that my success in the markets was the fact that I learned psychology from ICT and I was open-minded. A lot of people have this this negative connotation towards ICT because of other people that make videos on the way that he makes money. And sure, he makes money from YouTube, he makes money, made money from courses in the past. And sure, he did do that. And I agree, those videos are factual, right? But I learned the concepts with an open mind because I saw the way that they worked. I implemented them into my chart and I was marking them out for years on end. And I realized, even from the first week that I started marking out fair value gaps, I realized that this was the game changer that I needed. And that's why as soon as I learned about fair value gaps, I tossed out every single other thing that I had learned from my mentor previously, because I didn't understand the market the way that I did when I learned fair value gaps. Right away, I evaluated. Look, what I'm doing right now has not made me money yet. And I don't believe that you should be jumping strategies, but when you're jumping from trend lines into ICT, that's that's a completely different area. It's not a different, I don't know how to say this, it's not comparable to jumping strategies. You're basically jumping from nonsense into something that actually makes sense. That's what I'm trying to say, that you can switch to ICT. Start from a blank canvas and you will genuinely understand and succeed in the market if you do this properly. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that you'll be able to do it, because one of the most important parts, as I mentioned, is your psychology. And if you're just psychologically twisted as a person and you're too emotional and you won't ever be able to get around to it, maybe you come from a bad environment in the world, you won't be able to succeed simply because of your psychology. You're going to be greedy. You're going to be less patient than other people because you want to get out of some certain situation. The market has to, coming into the market to make money, you have to be emotionless. You can't bring other factors into it. You can't even bring monetary goals of hey, I want to make this kind of money from the market today. because it's not about what you're aiming for. It's about where the market's going and where it's going to stop that day, right? The daily range, as I taught you guys in many other videos. The daily range is what we're expecting. So this is where you're able to get in from your model, and this is where the daily range is going to close for the day. So you can only catch from here to here, right? You can try to risk up so that you can make the amount that you're setting, like aiming for, by the end of the trade. However, you can't come in like expecting to make that kind of money. The market has to be able to run to that level, and you have to be in with enough money to make that money. But you don't want to set monetary goals. You want to come in simply reading price action, getting in and getting out at whatever money it rewards you with for the day. Setting goals, like monetary goals, like today I'm going to make 8K, is one of the worst things that I've ever done, because I was up like 5K multiple times and I was just letting it go to waste. Because even though it hit my target, I was like, maybe it's going to run through a little bit higher before it pulls back. And every single time, it would go from 5,000 to nothing. Because I'd go down, maybe hit break even at around 2,000, and I'd try to buy to get back up there, just to make the money back. And then I'd end up losing everything that I walked into the market with that day. So one of the things is like that I learned, the most important lessons, is not to come in with monetary goals. Don't set goals of how much money you want to make that day. You come in simply reading price action and walking away with whatever it rewards you for that day. Be content with that. Be content that you were able to read price action. Don't try to like make some set amount of money. You will make more money trading just simply reading price action and being content with what it gives you in the long run than trying to force trades to make a certain amount of money that day, that month, that week, whatever it is. That's one of the biggest lessons that I learned that separated me as a trader from other people, because I see other people coming in, they're like, I'm gonna make 5K this week, I'm gonna make 5K this week, and they're up 4K and they keep forcing trades when the market's already done trading for the week. Like there's this concept called high probability and low probability trading days. This means that on days with no news, it's typically low probability. On days with a strong news event, like in the upcoming days, typically it consolidates. It doesn't move anymore. And if you like haven't reached your goal yet, and it's a low probability trading day, and you try to trade not considering that factor, you're going to lose the money that you already made. You're not going to hit your goals, and you're only going to leave the market crying that week. Yeah. So you guys really have to think about like all these different factors, and if you're coming from a place where you've been taught support resistance from somebody that's close to you and they maybe made money from it, tell them to learn fair value gaps. Even that person that has made money will realize that it's not about the strategy, but it was about their mind. It was about them being able to come into the market, accept losses, coming into the market confident in their model and not being afraid to take trades, being disciplined and not over trading. That's what made that person, that friend of yours, successful trading support and resistance. But does he really understand the market? No, because that's not the way that the market works. The market runs off of this algorithmically manipulated concepts, and those are fair value gaps, IFEGs, liquidity, everything else like new week opening gaps, new day opening gaps. All these concepts that you can tailor your own model from, like all these time-based concepts like sessions, kill zones inside of sessions, macros, quarterly theory, all these things are the way that the market operates. And if you learn that, you will genuinely be able to understand the market. And I believe that even if one of your friends, because like one of my friends from like, not a friend, but somebody that I recently became acquainted with, at like a youth event, he came from like a different state and he turned out to be trying to learn how to trade. And he tells me his friend knows a strategy and it's like not ICT, it's some random stuff. And I'm just like, bro, just study ICT. Like I promise you, study ICT. And he's like, no, my friend makes money consistently from the market. Like, I don't know why he's not looking at me. Like, I'm also making money from the market, like much more than his friend probably. But it's because his friend is close to him and he's making money, even though he's trading some random nonsense, right? And so he's going to go and try to learn from his friend because it's a close friend. And that's what a lot of you guys do as well. Somebody gets you into trading, and because they're making money from it, you're going to go try to learn whatever they are learning. But this doesn't necessarily mean that what they know is actually like valuable. Like it actually shows you how to understand the market, because it's not always about the strategy. It's about the trader. It's about the mind of the trader, the psychology, the risk management, And over time, like if you learn from your friend, you will also be able to start making money because you will learn the stuff that you need to learn, your psychology and all that other stuff. But ICT genuinely allows you to understand the market for what it is. Like you are able to actually read price, see how it moves, and I'll show you guys that that's how the market moves. In the upcoming videos, I'll prove to you guys that this is how the market moves. And simply watching my charts, you will be able to learn how consistently the algorithm operates on these concepts and how much clearer it's going to be to understand the market than whatever strategy you were trading, whether it was some SMC or support resistance or trend lines or any indicator strategy. You will learn that this is the way to trade the market. This is the way to properly trade the market, and this is how you can actually understand it. Now, once again, you can be profitable trading whatever. And if you really don't want to switch your strategy for whatever reason, and you just want to keep trading something that you don't understand, you can still make money. That's what I'm saying. But I really recommend you to start from zero and learn ICT. If you haven't already started, this will actually allow you to understand the market for what it is. Now, thank you all for listening to this very long yap session and an introduction into this series. I hope that I can be somebody that will guide you properly to profitability, and I'll do my best, guys. You guys just have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to drop the things that, it's just like friends, right? They're really close friends of yours, but they're just bad, like influences. Like you have goals that will lead you elsewhere, and those people, they can't come along because they have like a stuck mindset. They picked up some bad habits and they just don't want to grow. If you have a growth mindset and you want to keep going to places that those people can't go, you're going to have to leave them at some point. And in trading, that is your strategy. That strategy is holding you back. And while you are close to that strategy because you've traded it for so long, it's not going to take you to where you want to go. You're unprofitable because your strategy just doesn't make sense to you. Now, like I said, it's a lot about you yourself, the trader. However, with a strategy that you can understand, you as the trader will have less to worry about whether your strategy is correct because ICT makes sense. You won't worry about if your strategy is correct. What you'll start worrying about is why you can't succeed even though you understand the market. And in this situation where you can't succeed even though you understand the market, that's when you start working on your mind, your psychology, your risk management, no longer ever thinking about your understanding of the market because you actually understand the market now. You guys understand what I'm saying? If you learned something, drop a comment on this video, ask me any questions, and I hope we can go on this journey together. I'll take you guys to where you want to go. I'll catch you guys in the next video.